Live from New York, this is WIUR Radio.
All right, everyone, we're back, and welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard. Alongside my co-host Chris, I'm John. Chris, how you doing today?
Doing all right. Baseball season is back as of this week, so I'm super excited that MLB is back and Mets and Yankees getting ready to start their 2026 campaign. So it's a very good week in sports.
It's kind of crazy. We were sitting here 5 months ago when baseball was just ending. We were wrapping up the World Series. We were looking at the Dodgers winning the World Series. Still not happy about that. That's besides the point. It's crazy how time has flown, really, honestly. Like, I don't understand. Like, we're done with our first year. It's kind of crazy how everything's just been like that.
Yeah. It's, I do remember when we were talking about the Dodgers winning the World Series and that whole thing. And, Dodgers are looking to go for a three-peat this year. Hopefully that's not the case and we have a new World Series champion. But it's the Dodgers, so literally anything can happen.
Well, they are what I like to refer to them as the Kansas City of baseball, meaning that they're gonna have a streak, and then they're not gonna win anything for like 15 years. It's like they're just gonna stop.
Yeah. But yeah, Yankees take on. Let's start with your Yankees first, then we'll get to my Mets in a second.
So Yankees, actually, I'm such a bad fan. I don't remember who they're playing tomorrow.
They are San Francisco.
Yes, that's correct. Because I know they're playing Miami next week. I'm going to the game next week.
Yeah,
they're playing San Francisco. I believe Schmidt. No, who's starting? What's his name?
Max Fried.
Yeah, Fried is starting.
Yeah,
because Cole and Rodon are still on the IL. Looking like the rotation for the batting looks like it's going to be, it's going to be typical. It's going to start with
Judge.
No, I don't think it's going to start with Judge. I think it's going to start with first baseman
Goldschmidt,
and then it's going to be Judge,
Belly, and then the rest
or Belly, Judge, and then probably Stanton.
Yeah,
Cabrera, because Cabrera's back, which is good.
You guys are gonna have an interesting season this year. I think once Cole gets back and Rodon gets back and the entire pitching staff is healthy. My question to you is, as a Yankees fan, what's the goal this season? Because in 2024 you lost to the Dodgers, 25 you got bounced by the Red Sox. So in your eyes, obviously the goal is to make it to the playoffs.
And
back to the World Series.
Right. Correct. But I also want to see how the first half of the season goes because I don't know. I think it's going to be touch and go because we don't have strong pitching. We have decent pitching for the first half, but
listen, they got to put runs across the board, and the pitching has to. We have good pitching. You got a good defense behind you. So if the Yankees can limit, against like big games, they have like a bad inning, get some run across the board. The bullpen definitely is going to have to come in clutch in certain games and throughout the year.
And their other issue right now is their shortstop. He doesn't know what he's. I mean, look, he finally admitted. It was about a month ago. He posted something on social media like, "Yeah, I need to work on how I throw the ball and how I aim."
Yeah,
which is like, great, do it. You haven't shown us that you're really worthy of being on a team recently. I like the guy.
Anthony
be
Volpe.
Honest with you.
Good old Anthony Volpe. He's going to need to have a bounce back season. This guy was compared to the next Derek Jeter when he got called up back in 2024. So Yankee fans need to. I know the Yankee fans are kind of iffy about him. They want him off the team. They want him traded. He needs a bounce back year to regain trust in the Yankees fans, in the Yankees organization. Because if Volpe does not have a good first month of the season, he's probably going to get traded. They're probably going to move him. And, he just needs to regain that confidence back. And we'll see if he could do that in 2026. Sky's the limit. Yankees trying to get back into the World Series since 2024. They got bounced last year to the Red Sox. So That's really it for the Yankees, just to go back in the postseason, try to get back to the World Series and win a World Series for the first time in like 20 something years.
Not exactly. 2029 will be 20 years.
There we go. Okay.
So it's. I'm not good at math. Never was good at math.
I'm never
17.
There we go.
I got it.
There we
Don't
go.
worry.
How could I do that math? I was gonna pull up the calculator, but like, no, I'm not doing that.
17 years.
17. Wow, jeez. Yeah, it's been a while. They need to get back. But yeah,
one interesting thing. Sorry to cut you off. For a
no,
second,
you're
Chris.
good.
One interesting thing that's going on today. We have some speaker coming in.
Yes.
From Sirius XM, and I believe did this guy work for a major league team at some point? I want to say he did.
I think he did. I'm not too sure. I know he's done a lot of stuff with the NFL, and he has his own show.
Maybe it's NFL then.
Maybe
it might be NFL because I remember hearing him maybe on NFL radio or something like that. But he is quite phenomenal, to be honest, and we're really lucky that he's coming to have a conversation with us.
Yeah, taking his time out of his day to speak to all of us. So that's going to be very, very exciting. Now let's move it over to the.
So I have a question for you for the Mets.
Oh,
so
boy. Here we go.
Juan Soto had what I would say somewhat of a productive season last year, despite the fact that it didn't make to the playoffs.
Correct.
Playoffs at all.
Correct.
What do you guys want to see out of Soto this year, considering the fact, although he did decently for your team, and believe me, the problem with your team last year was the pitching. It wasn't the hitting, because you guys were getting runs.
Yeah.
But the problem was the pitchers you put in really would throw wild pitches. And what I noticed from the Mets last year was that as soon as that guy got hurt, Senga got hurt, the team went downhill.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. For Soto, listen, obviously first year with the Mets last year, did not have a Soto type of year. He had a good year. Let's put that. The first 2 months of the season, he wasn't great.
That's always Soto. When he was really with what was he with the Padres or San Diego? He was with San Diego.
He was San Diego before he was with the Yankees. Yep.
When he was with San Diego, it was always like that every year.
Yeah. And I think that also has to do with the contract, the biggest contract in North American sports history. And then you saw kind of Soto in June, July, really get back into that Soto type of player that we all know and love about him. The Soto shuffle came back, and then he started to mash home runs. In the second year, I think he's really going to be more comfortable. You've seen it in spring training how he's, it's a brand new clubhouse again for the Mets this year, obviously getting rid of Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo. A brand new core. This is really Lindor and Soto's team. And I think Lindor and Soto, despite all the controversy you hear online about, they're not great teammates and everything that you hear on the New York Post and everything, I think Soto's really going to have a good year. I really think he's going to, in the WBC, he was hitting like nukes to like the second deck. I think he's going to have a productive year. He's trying to get an NL MVP. He already stated that he wants to go after Mr. Unicorn, a.k.a. Shohei Ohtani, for the NL MVP. I think he's going to hit probably 45 home runs, potentially 50, if he does, have a very productive March and April. Lindor also, he was hot last year, kind of cooled off at the later half of the year. But that's a big thing with Lindor as well, that he gets hot during the summer, but then he's very cold in March, April, May. So you'd love to see if Lindor can get that spark going and try to, have what he did in the summer, but early on in the season and not wait till like the last minute. I think with this Mets team, a lot of people are going to count us out because, listen, there's no Alonso, there's no McNeil.
I was just going to say that. I was also going to say, even though Alonso's not on the team, I still want to track him. Because he's like...
I do. I think he's pissed that the Mets did not get him a contract, and I think he's going to be like... I think he's going to hit probably 45, again, 50 home... I mean, listen, it's the Orioles. They're going to be competing with your Yankees. They're going to be competing with the Blue Jays, so...
The Orioles are, of our division, they're like the worst team.
Yeah.
But apparently they have some decent pitching this year.
They do.
So...
They do.
They might be a team to reckon with, which I'm they haven't been a team to reckon with for 10 years, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they get a wild card spot, but yeah, I'm going to be keeping track of Alonso, see what he does. I think he's probably upset that the Mets did not offer him the contract he wanted, and he's going to say, "See, Mets, you should have offered me that contract. And look what I'm doing here in Baltimore." I think, and call me wrong, a lot of people say this Mets team has similar vibes to that 2024 team, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of people because I think they're under the radar. People are like, "Oh, the Mets. Listen, no Alonso, no McNeil. Oh, they're going to be garbage. They're not going to do anything." Boba Fett was a very nice pickup. I loved him a lot. He has a 300 average with runners in scoring position, which was emphasis.
You guys got Boba Fett. You guys got lucky.
Yeah, we did and people thought it was an emergency move when we didn't get Kyle Tucker. And listen, we've been talking to him all offseason, so it wasn't like it was just an emergency signing just out of nowhere. Okay, well, Kyle Tucker is gone. Oh, well, Boba Fett, here you go. You want the bag? Whatever. We stole him from the Phillies, so if you're a Phillies fan, I'm sorry, but haha. Luis Robert Jr., I love him a lot. I think if he can have a healthy season, we saw what he did in 2023. He can hit bombs. I think with this Mets team, a lot of people are doubting the power. Listen, I get it, we lost Alonso who can hit, 35, 40. McNeil can probably hit 15. Nimmo can hit 20. But listen, Boba Fett can hit you home runs. Soto can hit you home runs. Lindor can hit you home runs. I think they're going to be less of a power team and more of an aggressive singles, doubles type of team. And we'll see where this Mets team goes throughout the year. I'm very excited to see what this new core looks like. The goal is to make it to the postseason. That's really it. I love what they did with the pitching as well, bringing in Freddie Peralta. That was a huge trade. And if they didn't get another starting pitcher, I think everybody would have been pretty mad about that because then you're trusting a rookie, Nolan McLean, who, despite having 8 starts in the big leagues last year, did absolutely amazing. But you cannot put that much pressure on a rookie in his second year in the big leagues trying to pitch 150 plus innings and go out there every 5th day as your number 1 starter. I like the pitching. I think if everybody can stay healthy, I think they're going to have a good season. Hopefully, they start out the gate strong. And postseason or bust, that's really what I'm looking for. If they can get the wild card, great. The NL East, I would love them to win NL East. Obviously, you hear talks about what the Braves are doing, what the Phillies are doing. Braves pitching is going down day by day. Spencer Strider's out. So we'll see what happens with this Mets team. I'm very excited to kick off this 2026 campaign, and I think it's going to be a fun and interesting season without all these homegrown Mets.
Agreed.
So
should be interesting to watch.
Yeah, and I'm been waiting for a while, and now this Thursday, which I don't like the fact that Gary, Keith, and Ron are not on the call for that game. For opening day, the main 3 guys, they have NBC working that game, and I think they have Matt Vasgersian doing that game. It's a bummer. It is what it is, honestly. I'm still going to tune in. And it doesn't help that. Also, congratulations to Carson Bench. I forgot to mention that. Opening day right fielder for the New York Mets. So congratulations to him. The 2024 first-round pick. 2 years later, he's already in the big leagues. I mean, he had an incredible spring, and he deserves the spot. So congratulations to him. And it doesn't help that he's facing Paul Skeens in his first at-bat in the big leagues. So starting out strong out of the gate. And maybe, if he's lucky, he can get a hit or 2 off Skeens. That would be something incredible. So young right fielder, new core, no Alonso, no McNeil. What will this Mets team look like in 2026? All begins Thursday, and I'm very excited to see what this ball club can do throughout the year.
I agree. Can't agree more. Great for the Yankees, too.
Yeah. I think both teams, they're going to be very interesting to watch throughout the year. Especially with the Mets, with the whole thing last year. I mean, we mentioned on the show here, and you could do research on it. How did they bounce back? How the Yankees bounce back from getting Boston in the second round of the playoffs? How did the Mets bounce back after having 2 great months of the season, and then June, July, just a slow 3.5 month collapse, as Gary Cohen called it on the air. Listen, baseball's back. I'm excited, and that's really it. And also, I want to mention March Madness real quick. If you guys have been keeping up with those games, my Lord, they call it March Madness for a reason. And St. John's has been doing really, really good. You got to give credit to Petito, what he's done in his 3 years with the St. John's, back-to-back Big East champions, and then taking them into the NCAA last year. They got knocked out in the second round by Arkansas, but then this year making to the Sweet 16 against Duke. That's going to be a big game if St. John's can try to pull a win against Duke because they are the #1 seed. First time since 1999 that they've been into the Sweet 16. So that's going to be a very fun game. Of course, I made a bracket already cooked with all the teams I picked pretty much have gone. So it is what it is. That's why they call it March Madness, guys. But,
Yep.
good luck to St. John's. A lot of people have them losing against Duke. That buzzer beater was insane.
They might, honestly.
They might, listen, anything is possible. It's March Madness. If they could pull out the upset, that'll be incredible. Go to the Elite Eight. But we'll see what happens on Friday.
Shall see.
It's gonna be a fun game.
All right.
Very fun game.
Well, that about wraps things up for us. We're kind of out of time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for next week. We'll discuss the first couple days of baseball.
Yeah.
Take care.
See you guys.